Hello everybody, beautiful and amazing people. Grow food or die. Wait, what? That is not things that other YouTubers, oh gosh, YouTubers, other people say on YouTube. Or is it? I am here on a beautiful December mid-afternoon up near my dwarf banana circle. And I'm not sure of the day. I think it's the 11th or something. We've had a few light frost out here so far. You know, frosting the ground, a few leaves burnt on some plants. Some yellowing going on, not too bad. But I want to do a video of these bananas right here. These are California Gold, which is basically a selection of Orinoco. This plant right here, I have 4 of them in this row. And they actually had frost in them the other morning. And I'm very surprised that they took no damage at all. Not even any yellowing. They're a little bit whiplashed because the winds come through here, especially when the front's pushed down. But they did amazing. Really nice looking still. Those are California Gold. This starting right here is a Dwarf Orinoco. Just a plain dwarf. This right here is a Dwarf XL Orinoco. Which these were all planted at the same time, the same size. You can see there's a little bit of difference. This is the Dwarf XL Orinoco. And this is another sport of Dwarf Orinoco that has smaller fruit even than the California Gold, but gets very large bunches. Where the XL Orinoco has really large fruit, this has really good sized bunches. But anyway, I'm not really doing a video too much on varieties here. There's some more dwarf varieties all right there. But the dwarf Brazilians took some damage over there. Their leaves are a little brown. So, but I just wanted to point these guys out because they took 0 damage. The Orinoco bananas, which, in case you guys don't know, are basically pretty much the only wild, in parentheses, banana you're going to find in the U.S. Not because the seeds get spread, like the Volatinia, those you can find in a few places growing wild, but probably because these bananas were brought over here hundreds of years ago. I wouldn't doubt the Spanish were bringing these over here, or even if they were here longer before then. I personally believe they were. I have Orinoco bananas that I have found growing. They were actually my first banana, by the way. We'll talk about bananas here for a few minutes. And my first ever banana that I grew was one that I found when I was a kid in Dundee, Florida, growing behind Davison's Candy Factory in a swampy area. We used to go back in the swamp as kids and hop on little mounds, and there was an island we called Raccoon Island where the raccoons would catch crayfish, and it was filled with red raccoon crap. That's what I remember. But yeah, we call it Raccoon Crap Island because they'd eat all the crayfish, and the island was literally red with raccoon shit. But growing in that swamp, I found my first ever banana. And I've always loved plants. Me, went and dug one up by hand and brought it home. And I didn't think much of it, until years later, like, how in the world did this banana get into the middle of the swamp? It's amazing when you think about it. And it was a huge stand. It's 30, 40, 50 feet wide, 400 or 500 bananas. Literally, it was a whole stand. And we used to take the bananas and throw them at each other. They're rotten bananas, yeah. Kids, right? And course, years later, I came to find out it was an Orinoco banana. And just really thinking about it, even now, which that swamp is now developed and turned into a housing development, yes. They filled it in and built houses over it. But I could kick myself for, being a stupid kid and not understanding or thinking about possibly how significant that is. But anyway, throughout the years, I've actually found Orinoco bananas in several odd places. Every Orinoco I have and every sport that I have, besides the California Gold, I have found growing throughout the South. I have them from Polk County, Florida, here, Central Florida. I have one from up near Jacksonville. I've even seen them growing wild in Mississippi, which is just insane when you think about it, how these bananas get to these places. But the point I'm making is they are extremely hardy bananas. On one of my eBay listings, I talk about it a little bit, but these guys can take the cold, they can take the dry during dry years, they can take the wet. Just super hardy, amazing, adaptable bananas. And they get ranked on pretty hard. A lot of people, oh, they're not that good, blah, 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 BS like that. It's actually one of my really, truly favorite bananas. They do taste good. They're great for cooking. If you let them get ripe, nice acid-free, really tasty bananas. And some of them get massive bananas. There's some that, double the size of soda cans. And just amazing, easy to grow bananas. They do really well with poor soil. The nematodes here in Florida don't bother them. And the point of this video, this one took a little bit of damage. I don't know if you can see that. A little bit of browning on the leaf here. Some frost damage, just a little bit. But they can take the cold just amazing. There's some, now I'm looking. Little tiny bit of frost damage. But that is it. Where my other dwarves in the circle here, I've got dwarf Brazilians over there and a dwarf Puerto Rican super plantain. And those guys, they're probably going to end up losing the leaves. It takes the leaves a few days to die after a frost. And they've got some brown leaves on them, but these Orinocos just beautiful looking still. And the dwarves are actually ones that you can grow in very large pots. Not very many bananas that you can do that with. But the Dwarf Orinocos, which there's several lines, strains, sports, whatever you want to call them, mutations, do really well. The California Golds right here, they are extremely cold hardy. I know that. The fruit, I don't think is the best if you ask me. The best fruit out of the Orinocos is the tall Orinocos, honestly. Those taste a lot better than dwarves, but the dwarves are so much smaller, of course, and easier to manage. So that's big with people that don't have a lot of space. But California Gold gets a really nice sized bunch on it. Not as drought tolerant as some of the other lines, but very cold tolerant, which is a big thing with bananas, I know. But yeah, I just wanted to point this out to you guys. I'm out here getting some things done, And I was looking at some of the damage, and these guys are just looking awesome. There's some little suckers coming off of them. And all of these doors will fruit easily next year for me. These have only been in the ground a couple months. And you can see how I plant them. Not even put in the ground. They're literally set on top. And mulch and compost, the leaves, is just put around them. And they anchor themselves really nicely. Yep. There you go. So, grow food, guys. Check out my blog, which I've been doing for a few years, but maybe I've not been writing on. I really need to get back to that. A lot of people have been asking about it. I will start putting links in the descriptions for my blog and writing posts for you guys. A little more descriptive and hopefully get some more pictures on there for you. But yeah, grow food, guys. Check out the blog. Keep following me, you know. Maybe you can learn something interesting or find some amazing plant that you want to grow. I will probably list a couple of these bananas. The dwarf. I had somebody ask the other day about this XL dwarf, but I've only got one sucker on that. But contact me directly if you're interested in them, or go through eBay and pay more. You know, your choice. I charge more on eBay, guys, just so you know. But yeah, I think I will post a few or sell a few California Gold and some of these Dwarf Orinocos here, and possibly sell that little sucker right there on the XL Dwarf, which that's a pretty interesting one. They only get about 4 feet, but it'll put on a bunch of bananas, about 10 bananas that are literally bigger than soda cans. It's pretty awesome looking. Really cool to see that. California Gold's a little larger. These get about 6 feet for me, which is very small for a banana, you know, 5-6 feet. Larger bunch of amazing cold tolerance, amazing adaptability on these guys. So grow food, guys. Grow easy to grow things. Grow Orinoco bananas. Everybody needs to eat.